Welcome friends, we are here for you to provide the important recent and latest current affairs 22nd April 2020, which have unique updates of latest current affairs 2020 events from all newspapers such as The Hindu, The Economic Times, Times of India, Indian Express, Business Standard and all government official websites. Our current affairs April 2020 events will help you to get more marks in banking, insurance, SSC, railways, UPSC and all state top 20 current affairs of the 21st of April 2020. National Affairs. G20 Health Ministers meeting held via video conference to control COVID-19. US $8 million required for containment. An international forum of health ministers of G20 countries was held on April 19, 2020. Via video conference, from India, Minister of Health and Family Welfare Dr. Harsh Vardhan participated. Global Preparedness Monitoring Board, GPMB, estimated that over $8 billion is required to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. The objective behind this meet was to discuss weaknesses in health systems that made the world vulnerable to the coronavirus outbreak, to pursue unified efforts towards mitigation of COVID-19. Efforts by Saudi Arabia as a chair of G20 presidency. Already, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as the holder of the G20 presidency, has pledged $500 million to relevant international organizations, viz. $150 million to the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness and Innovation, CEPI, $150 million to the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, Gavi, $200 million to other international and regional health participants at video conference. Apart from G20 nations, leaders from Spain, Singapore, Jordan, Switzerland as well as from international and regional organizations including the World Health Organization and the World Bank also participated. About G20 members: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Republic of Korea, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, UK, United States, US, and European Union, EU. Spain is a permanent guest invitee to the G20 meetings. Chairman Saudi Arabian King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, 2020. Center formed high-level task force headed by Vinod Paul and K.Vijay Raghavan for development of COVID-19 vaccine. In the wake of increasing death toll, the central government has constituted high-level task force for vaccine and drug testing for coronavirus disease, COVID-19, co-chaired by Vinod Paul, member NITI, National Institution for Transforming India, AAOG, and Professor Krishnaswamy Vijay Raghavan, Principal Scientific Advisor to the government. The objective of the task force is to catalyze national and international efforts towards vaccine development to treat COVID-19. The task force members include Director General of Health Services, Dr. Rajiv Garg, Drug Controller General of India, Dr. V.G. Samani and representatives of Ayush, Ayurvedic, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, Ministry, Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, Department of Biotechnology, among others. Key responsibilities of Task Force. Department of Biotechnology would act as a nodal agency for the development of the vaccine to fight COVID-19 and to provide government facilitation. It would also form clinical cohorts, which would focus on long-term follow-up of the disease and its management. Biospecimen collection will be done to form the basis for further drug and vaccine. India has already announced its decision to participate in the World Health Organization, WHO's multi-countries solidarity trial for development of potential treatments for COVID-19. It is an international randomized trial of additional treatments for the disease on admitted patients. Uttar Pradesh becomes first state to geotag community kitchens on April 19, 2020. Uttar Pradesh, UP, became the first state in the country to geotag its 7,368 community kitchens and community shelters across 75 districts, which produce 12 lakh food packets a day, due to the sudden onset of COVID-19 lockdown. Key points. The Yogi Adityanath state government has also tied up with Google to geomap for the location of all these establishments through the Google Maps app for ease of beneficiaries. 2 out of these 7,368 community kitchens, 668 are being run by NGOs, non-governmental organizations, religious institutions, and more than 2 crore food packets have been distributed in app since March 25, 2020. Relief Commissioner Sanjay Goyal added that the concept of relief camps and community kitchens is not new, as every year, the DMs, district magistrates, work out similar plans in areas affected by yearly droughts and floods. For the IT, Information Technology Department of the state approached the Remote Sensing Applications Center, SAC, Lucknow, due to the lack of information among the people regarding the location of shelter homes and community kitchens. As a result, the location of all shelter homes and community kitchens in and around Aligarh, UP, have been integrated with Google Maps, and anyone can access them by searching with the keyword community kitchen, followed by the district's name. About Uttar Pradesh, UP, capital Lucknow, Chief Minister, CM-Yogi Adityanath, Governor Anandaben Patel, DCGI clears ICMR plasma therapy trial in COVID-19 patients. 99 applications received. The Drug Controller General of India, DCGI, Dr. V.G. Samani has approved the clinical trial proposal for convalescent plasma therapy submitted by the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR. Under this therapy, plasma from recovered COVID-19 individuals will be transfused into sick patients to check whether this therapy can be used as a treatment for the pandemic. In this regard, ICMR launched the call for the study titled a Phase 2, open-label, randomized controlled study to assess the safety and efficacy of convalescent plasma to limit COVID-19 associated complications, and has received 99 applications from institutes expressing interest. ICMR will collaborate with eligible institutes from the applicants and will also fund the latter. Key points: as per trial protocol, plasma will be collected from recovered individuals if they are eligible to donate blood after 28 days of symptom-free period. Maharashtra has shown interest in trying this therapy. The United States Food and Drug Administration, US FDA, has also approved the plasma therapy from patients recovered from COVID-19 for treatment of severe or life-threatening COVID-19 infections. Center has amended FDI policy 2017 for curbing opportunistic takeovers. Government amends the extant FDI, foreign direct investment, policy for curbing opportunistic takeovers, acquisitions of Indian companies from neighboring nations due to the current COVID-19 pandemic. In this regard, the center has amended Para 3.1.1 of extant FDI policy as contained in Consolidated FDI Policy, 2017. Amendments, as per amended 3.1.1a, FDI proposals from countries sharing border with India will now be able to invest only with government approval. At present, this restriction applies only to FDI from Bangladesh and Pakistan. As per amended 3.1.1b, any change in beneficial ownership will also require government approval. The above decision will take effect from the date of FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. MNRE urges states to set up renewable energy equipment parks on April 18, 2020. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE, has urged states to set up renewable energy equipment manufacturing parks to meet domestic demand and make India a global manufacturing hub. Key points: the ministry has written to various state governments and various port authorities to identify 5,500 acres of land to set up such parks, where Tuticorin Port Trust, states of Madhya Pradesh and Odisha have already expressed their interest. The hubs will manufacture equipment like silicon ingots and wafers, solar cells and modules, wind equipment and ancillary items like backsheet, glass among others, and will export equipment and services in the RE sector. Currently there are 10 gigawatt GW of wind equipment manufacturing capacity. Then the solar cells and modules. India imports about 85% from abroad. For the 3 power and RE sectors, non-banking finance company, NBFCs, namely Power Finance Corporation, PFC, Rural Electrification Corporation Limited, REC, and Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited, IEDA, has reduced their repayment charges to 2% to enhance the available funds for new projects in the sector. V.IEDA has included a new scheme for project-specific funding to promote new RE projects in India. Vi.MNRE has set up a RE-industry facilitation and promotion board to facilitate the investment in the sector and has strengthened the clauses in power purchase agreements, PPAs, to boost investor confidence. About MNRE, Minister of State Raj Kumar R.K. Singh. Banking and Finance. Voice banking services on Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant launched. ICICI on April 20, 2020. ICICI Bank has launched voice assistance-based banking services on its integrated artificial intelligence AI-powered multi-channel chatbot HiPal with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant for its retail banking customers, by which they can access a wide range of banking services like check balance, seek credit card details and ask queries through voice commands. Key points. The customers to access this need to download the Alexa, Google Assistant and link their ICICI Bank account through a secure two-factor authentication process. 2. It has introduced WhatsApp chat-based ICICI Stack on March 17, 2020, to provide a continuous banking service for retail and business customers. It offers nearly 500 services that cover almost all banking requirements, which includes digital account opening, loan solutions among others. About ICICI Headquarters Mumbai, Maharashtra. Managing Director, MD, and Chief Operating Officer, CEO Sandeep Bakshi. RBI reduces FPI investment limits in G-Seconds for FY21, rises for SDL. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, has reduced the investment limit for general category foreign portfolio investors, FPI, in central government securities, G-Seconds, to Rs 2.34 lakh crore for FY 2021 from the existing limit of Rs 2.46 lakh crore. The limits have been brought down by almost $1.5 billion to just above $31 billion. The long-term FPI investment limits in G-Seconds have also been reduced to Rs 1.03 lakh crore from the prevailing limit of Rs 1.15 lakh crore, a reduction of almost $1.5 billion. On the other hand, RBI has increased the general category FPI investment limits in state development loans, SDL, by Rs 3,215 crore to Rs 64,415 crore for the first half of FY21. The limit will again rise by Rs 3,215 crore to Rs 67,630 crore for the second half of FY21. The limits for FPI investment in G-Seconds and SDLs remained unchanged at 6% and 2%, respectively, of outstanding stocks of securities for FY 2021. Reason behind decline in FPI limit for G-Seconds. FPIs are selling their G-Seconds continuously following the COVID-19 crisis. General category FPI utilization of investment limits in G-Seconds has fallen to 52.62% as on April 15 compared to over 75% at the beginning of 2020. In the last 19 consecutive sessions, FPIs have sold Indian bonds including both G-Seconds and corporate bonds worth $8.8 billion. So, in order to tackle this situation, the FPI limit for G-Seconds is decreased. About FPI, it is an investment by non-residents in Indian securities including shares, government bonds, corporate bonds, convertible securities, infrastructure securities, etc. It should be noted that FPI does not provide direct control over the assets or the businesses, economy and business. Fitch cuts India's FY21 GDP growth forecast to 1.8%. On April 20, 2020, Fitch Solutions has declined India's gross domestic product, GDP, growth for the financial year, FY 2020-21, April 2020 to March 2021, to 1.8% from 4.6% previously, as they expect private consumption to contract against a previously weak expansion and the net exports will continue to drag heavily, due to the large-scale loss of income across the economy because of the impact of a worsening domestic outbreak of COVID-19. Key points. For China, It has revised to 1.1% from 2.6% previously, and the real GDP contracts by 6.8% year-over-year YOY in the first quarter of 2020.